The Eagles have made an important decision in the last few hours, and all signs point to big news coming out of the Philadelphia Eagles headquarters this week. You already know Howie Roseman is a top-tier general manager. Nobody makes better decisions than he does. I have no doubt we're in great hands. If you agree, smash that like button. And if possible, write this: Howie is the best GM in the NFL. Jalen Hurts is not just the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles, he's the heartbeat of a team built to dominate. And yet, heading into the 2025 NFL season, there are still people questioning his place among the league's elite. ESPN ranked him 9th among all quarterbacks, a list formed by executives, scouts, and coaches. Let that sink in. 9th, behind guys like Jared Goff and Justin Herbert. And here's the thing. When it comes down to actual results, wins, and big game performances, Jalen is operating on a different level. Take a step back and look at what Hurts has accomplished. Since becoming the full-time starter in 2021, he's racked up 131 total touchdowns. That's more than Lamar Jackson, more than Justin Herbert, and this is a guy people still try to claim is just a tush-push merchant. Mahomes and Allen are ahead in total TDs, but Jalen is right there, and unlike Justin Herbert, he's not just compiling empty numbers. Jalen wins. He shows up in big moments. He has played Patrick Mahomes head-to-head in the biggest game of them all, the Super Bowl, and outplayed him. Twice. Yes, twice. And in one of those matchups, Hurts brought home the Super Bowl MVP and the Lombardi Trophy to Philadelphia. But somehow, his name keeps getting disrespected in these rankings. The guy has been a top 10 fantasy quarterback 4 seasons in a row. QB6, QB1, QB2, QB5, and the stats aren't just empty. He's rushed for double-digit touchdowns in every season as a starter. That is unheard of. He's not just playing football. He's rewriting what a franchise quarterback can look like. And what's even crazier is how much he's had to overcome. While quarterbacks like Mahomes and Allen have enjoyed stability in their systems, Hurts has had a carousel of play callers and coordinators. Since his rookie year in 2020, he's worked under Doug Peterson, then Nick Sirianni, Shane Steichen, Brian Johnson, Kellen Moore, and now Kevin Patullo. That's 6 offensive coordinators in 6 years. Most QBs would collapse under that kind of instability. Not Hurts. He's grown, evolved, and elevated the team every step of the way. But of course, none of this matters to the people more obsessed with stats than success. Just ask Colin Cowherd. He went on record saying Hurts' production in the passing game was underwhelming, citing the Eagles' 21st ranked passing offense and the fact that 11 of Hurts' 32 touchdowns came on 1-yard runs. But let's break that down. The Eagles didn't air it out last year because they didn't need to. When you've got Saquon Barkley, the league's rushing champion, the offensive player of the year, and a top 5 MVP finisher, why force the issue? The Eagles had a historic rushing season. Saquon was unstoppable, the offensive line was the best in football, and the team's identity was clear: run the ball, control the clock, and punish the defense. Philadelphia didn't play to pad stats, they played to win. And they did win. After their Week 5 bye, the Eagles went 12-1. 12-1. They passed the ball just 24.3 times per game, the lowest in the NFL, not because they couldn't throw, but because they didn't need to. And let's talk about the tush push. People knock Hurts for using it so effectively, like it's a flaw. But here's the truth. Nobody in the league can replicate it. Josh Allen tried, failed 4 times against Kansas City. That play is special because Hurts is special. The guy squats 600 pounds. His strength, technique, timing, all of it makes that play not just effective, but unstoppable. You know it's coming, and you still can't stop it. That's greatness. Cowherd also claimed the Eagles reduced Hurts' passing volume because they didn't trust him. That's just lazy analysis. This team had a plan: dominate with the run, control games, keep the defense fresh, and strike when necessary. And when they needed Hurts to throw, he delivered. NFC Championship game, lights out. Super Bowl, unstoppable. Philly dropped 55 in the NFC title game and shredded one of the best defensive minds in Super Bowl history. Hurts also evolved. In 2023, he threw 15 picks on 538 attempts. In 2024, just 5 picks on 361 throws. That's growth. That's a quarterback learning, adjusting, and getting better. And let's not forget, ESPN's own scouting report says Hurts has the best completion percentage over expected in the NFL at plus 6.6%. He throws a beautiful deep ball. Just ask DeVonta Smith, who caught a 50-yard laser in the Super Bowl that's now known as the Dagger in Philly. He's also the most accurate short yardage rusher in NFL history, for straight seasons with 10-plus rushing TDs, the longest streak ever by a quarterback. That's not a gimmick. That's dominance. Hurts isn't just surviving out there. He's controlling games, defining the identity of one of the most physical teams in football, and elevating everyone around him. This is why so many scouts are now comparing him to Russell Wilson in his prime. And it makes sense. Both undersized, mobile, smart, composed, and relentless. But here's the difference. Hurts might already be better. He's more physically dominant. He's mentally tougher. He's more refined as a leader and more productive with his legs and arm. And how about his story? Coach's son, leader from day one, replaced by Tua in college, didn't complain, went to Oklahoma, rebuilt his game, and earned a second chance. Drafted by the Eagles to back up Carson Wentz, and when his moment came, he seized it. Ugly playoff loss to Brady in year one, came back, made the Super Bowl the next year. Lost to Mahomes, came back again and outplayed him. This is the arc of a champion. So let me ask you this, Eagles fans, why is Jalen Hurts still being disrespected? Why do some people still see him as a system quarterback or just a product of the run game, when all he's done is win, lead, and dominate? Let's take it even deeper, because this isn't just about numbers or narratives anymore, it's about proof. Every time Jalen Hurts is doubted, he responds the only way he knows how, by winning. And it's not just the final score, it's the way he commands this Eagles team that sets him apart. Hurts isn't just a quarterback, he's the CEO of this franchise. His leadership is the engine behind a team that has now earned its way back to the top of the NFL. Look back at what happened after the Week 5 bye in 2024. The Eagles pivoted, and it wasn't because they lacked trust in Hurts. It was because great teams adapt. They had the best defensive line in football, loaded with all-pros and pro bowlers. They had Saquon Barkley, a once-in-a-generation running back having the best season of any player in the league. So they leaned into their identity. They ran the ball, drained the clock, and crushed teams physically. That's not a lack of faith in Hurts. That's the highest level of football intelligence. What critics miss is that Hurts was the key to making that system work. Defenses couldn't load the box to stop Barkley because they knew Hurts could pull the ball and burn them with his legs or launch one deep to Smith or Brown. The threat of Hurts opened up lanes for Saquon. They played off each other, like chess pieces moving in perfect sync. And when Philly needed Hurts to take over, he was that guy. The NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl weren't won with gimmicks. They were won with execution, grit, and a quarterback who thrives under pressure. 55 points in the NFC title game. Against the top 5 defense in the Super Bowl, the Eagles' offense never blinked. That's what Hurts brings: confidence, rhythm, and control. His deep ball, his accuracy, his poise in the pocket, they were all on full display on the biggest stage. And let's circle back to Colin Cowherd's analogy. He said that if a company comes back from a retreat and decides to use you less, that's a sign you're not essential. But here's the real comparison. Imagine a CEO choosing to delegate, not because he's incapable, but because he wants to maximize the strengths of the company. That's leadership. That's what Hurts does. He doesn't chase stats, he chases rings. Everywhere Hurts has gone, he's elevated those around him. At Alabama, he was loved by Nick Saban. At Oklahoma, he became a Heisman finalist. In Philly, he turned a fractured locker room into a Super Bowl champion. The guy doesn't complain. He adapts. He grows. He responds to every challenge with character, maturity,